Oh my god, babe. Did you hear the news?
My whole family just died in a house fire.
No, I just got cast in a Pedro Pascal movie. I know, right? Fuck, isn't that awesome?
Oh my god. Oh no.
Don't worry, babe. I'm not gonna leave you now that I'm an A-list celebrity actor.
Brand Marvel used to sell tickets in and of itself. It almost didn't matter what the movie was. People were interested because they were so bought into the MCU. And in particular, late into phase 3, it was just people trusted they were going to get a good movie.
To be safe and to be protected, and I want very much to live on the right side of history.
A lot of Marvel movies. If you're in the top 5, you're doing...
Now, this isn't one of the greatest Marvel movies to me.
It tanked in the second weekend, just like we thought. And not because it's a matter of Fantastic Four being good, bad, or otherwise. It's about everything that led up to this being relatively bad and uninteresting to audiences. This is all about the actual box office performance of Marvel in the last 4 to 5 years. You could almost set your watch by it.
Marvel used to print money on its logo alone. Now, even a $257 million opening can't outrun a single viral breakdown. Picture the Sydney press junket for Fantastic Four. First steps, cameras roll, and instead of hyping cosmic adventure, Pedro Pascal collapses into tears.
To be safe and to be protected, and I want very much to live on the right side of history.
I too want to be on the right side of history, and I have a feeling the right side of history is going to be on whatever side is the opposite of Pedro Pascal.
Rails against Trump and scolds Disney's own audience for childish boycotts. Within hours, the clip detonates across TikTok, hashtags #PascalProblem and #fatigued Fantastic Swarm X, and box office trackers slash second weekend forecasts by 25%. What was meant to be Marvel's triumphant reboot suddenly feels like a PR freefall, raising one brutal question. Did Reed Richards just stretch the franchise past its breaking point?
At times, I felt like I was in a Reed Richards science class, which is not what I really wanted to be in.
Opening weekend should have been a victory lap, and $257 million worldwide. Social feeds exploding with Marvel's back memes, but 7 days later, the tone flipped hard. Domestic ticket sales cratered 66%, theaters reported empty Thursday shows, and Deadline's rosy forecasts quietly shrank from $48 million to barely $40. Analysts blamed superhero saturation, but fans told a different story. They hadn't soured on cosmic adventures. They'd lost faith in the brand that once guaranteed them. Every hot take thread circled the same point.
It tanked in the second weekend, just like we thought. And not because it's a matter of Fantastic Four being good, bad, or otherwise. It's about everything that led up to this being relatively bad and uninteresting to audiences. This is all about the actual box office performance of Marvel in the last 4 to 5 years. You could almost set your watch by it.
Marvel feels less like escapism and more like homework now, and no amount of Galactus Easter eggs can cover that sagging trust. Worse, Pedro's tear-soaked sound bites were just beginning their aftershock. Pedro's meltdown hit public feeds like a live wire. Mid-interview on Australia's Sunrise show, he wiped tears, declared himself a proud male feminist, and blamed MAGA boycotts for any future box office slump. Then doubled down, calling Trump a dictator strangling cinema. The host sat frozen. Disney's on-site rep turned chalk white. Within hours, Bob Iger axed a Pascal-centric featurette, and Marvel's PR team emailed emergency talking points. No politics, no tears, stay on script. But the damage was done. Clips ricocheted through TikTok stitches and Fox News monologues alike.
I am your cool daddy.
Constant touching.
Very codependent, very codependent.
I'm gonna have a panic attack and I'm gonna leave.
Pedro Pascal is going from TV to movies with the biggest budget movie of his career so far with Fantastic Four, but doing it, everyone seems to have one question on their mind, that's that if he slept with Vanessa Kirby or not.
Instead of cosmic hype, the headline became culture war carnage, and Vanessa Kirby was about to feel the crossfire next. Vanessa Kirby walked into the London junket expecting softball questions about Sue Storm's force fields. Instead, she found herself fielding whispers about Pedro's wandering hands. A fan-cut montage, Pascal gripping Kirby's waist, brushing her hair, cupping her face mid-photo call, clocked 1 million views overnight. Hashtags waxing from cute chemistry to creepy cling. Publicists scrambled, pulling Kirby from back-to-back radio spots and nixing joint interviews.
And fight back.
Look at Joaquin.
And this is a perfect way
I
to
love
do
this.
so.
We are all Joaquin Phoenix right now.
He's not having it.
And don't let them win. Don't let them win.
And Joaquin is just like, will you shut the up?
Joseph Quinn arrived solo to a BBC panel, joking, "Johnny's flying solo today." But the tension was nuclear. Reporters were instructed to stick to CGI questions, yet every microphone angled for drama. Pedro's press tour takeover had morphed into a full-blown hostage situation, and Marvel's silence was starting to sound like complicity. X lit up like a Civil War rehearsal. Half the timeline crowned Pedro brave truth-teller. The other half blasted him as a self-absorbed lecture machine, coining #Pascal fatigue faster than any meme Marvel could buy. TikTok loops compared his tearful riff to Rachel Ziegler's Snow White PR faceplant. Same preachy vibes, same ticket drop. Comment sections filled with vows to, "Wait for Disney Plus, I'm not paying for politics." Even die-hard MCU Redditors confessed they were drained, not of superheroes, but of sermons. Every new clip pushed Fantastic Four further off topic until one viral poll asked, "Name a scene you loved, if you remember one." Spoiler, most couldn't. And while fans duked it out online, Disney's bean counters were running numbers that looked even uglier. Bob Iger's calendar turned triage hotline. At 6 a.m. Pacific, Disney brass convened a code read Zoom. Marketing dollars rerouted from Pedro spots to Kirby Quinn highlight reels, overseas junkets slashed, and every interviewer supplied a color-coded no-go list. Trump, MAGA, DEI, tears. Legal flagged Pascal's latest podcast tease, an unvetted personal manifesto, and quietly added a morals clause addendum to his sequel option. Meanwhile, analytics teams built grim dashboards. Sentiment down 38%, intent to purchase merch down 42%, unaided recall of the actual plot barely 21%. One exec reportedly muttered, "We needed Mr. Fantastic, got Mr. Fanatic." But even the sharpest PR scalpel couldn't stop the next hemorrhage.
A lot in this movie that left me with some questions, but they weren't even questions like, why the f would they do that? It was more like, why the f would they do that? Like, please explain it.
Theater chains were already downgrading screen counts for week 3. Pedro didn't retreat, he reloaded. Within 48 hours of Disney's gag memo, he booked an indie podcast, promising to finally say everything Marvel won't let me. Reddit sleuths unearthed past press tours where he delivered near identical political tirades, only now amplified by a billion-dollar spotlight. Entertainment Tonight floated the headline, "Pattern or Passion?" while Variety leaked whispers of sponsors pausing ad buys until the Pascal situation stabilizes. Even HBO, where Pedro is still king, inserted subject to availability clauses in upcoming promo drafts. Marvel's anxious hope that the storm would blow over was shattered by Pedro's own forecast. More tears, more speeches, more flames. And just as the spotlight drifted from hype to ideology, Kevin Feige stepped up to defend Marvel's DEI mantra, pouring gasoline on an already raging fan fire. Kevin Feige's response arrived wrapped in the corporate resolve, not mea culpa. In a shareholder Q&A, he reiterated Marvel's unshakable commitment to representation, citing DEI as the studio's true superpower. Bob Iger echoed the line on CNBC an hour later. To many fans, it felt like déjà vu. Lucasfilm had said the same before Solo sank, Disney Animation before the Snow White fiasco. Commentators fired back. No one's mad at inclusion, we're mad at intrusion. Threads piled receipts showing stories sidelined for slogans. Pedro's tear-soaked sermon now Exhibit A. Instead of cooling tempers, Marvel's stance framed the debate as values versus wallets, forcing longtime loyalists to decide which mattered more, and ticket counters were already revealing the early vote. By the third weekend, the verdict wasn't hiding in spreadsheets. It glared from half-empty IMAX rows. Domestic grosses limped past $196 million, well below break-even projections, while CinemaScore slid from a hopeful B+ to a perilous B as repeat viewers evaporated. Merch partners paused Reed Richards' action figure shipments, reporting a 45% dip in pre-order demand. AMC cut premium format showings, Regal bumped Fantastic Four for a mid-budget horror sleeper that suddenly looked safer. Industry trackers now peg total losses, marketing blowouts, tie-in pullbacks, Disney Plus churn, at up to $250 million if decline curves hold. Inside Marvel, whispers of recast or reshoot swirl, but accountants mutter it's cheaper to bury the sequel than revive a brand-bleeding consumer trust. For the first time since Iron Man, Marvel isn't battling supervillains, it's battling audience indifference. Marvel once felt invincible. Now it's learning that no amount of cosmic CGI can outshine one unchecked microphone. Pedro Pascal's tear-soaked crusade turned Fantastic Four from reboot to referendum, torching trust, ticket sales, and the very idea that the MCU logo guarantees magic. The numbers say fatigue, the headlines say fiasco, fans say they're done paying for sermons dressed as spandex. So where does the saga go? Does Marvel risk a costly course correction? Or double down on the ideology that's draining its box office lifeblood? Drop your verdict below, future blueprint or final warning. And hit subscribe, because if the next phase stumbles again, Hollywood's biggest empire may discover just how fast a universe can implode.